Easter brunch. I have my foil that I am putting in my pan here. Now, I got this ham for, well, I'm doing this before Easter, but you can get ham for anywhere between 60 cents and $1 around Easter, which is a darn tootin' good deal. Save your glaze packet. Now, this is just a spiral bone-in ham. And what I do is I just follow the directions on here, except that I make a different glaze. Okay, so I'm keeping this glaze. And what I'm gonna do is, okay, I'm gonna go take this to the sink and get it out of the package. All right, so that's all I do. And then I cover my ham. Okay, it is about 4 hours before we need to eat. So I'm gonna turn this on about 350 and let it start cooking. Then as it gets closer to time to eat, I'm gonna turn the heat down to like 200 if this is all done. And I'm gonna put my glaze on. Now, I cannot read the directions on here, but that's okay. So I'm gonna throw this in the oven. I'm using the spiced honey ham in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1. Take a picture of the QR code and follow that link to livingonadime.com, or go to the link in the description below, and this recipe will be on my website. So, what I'm gonna do is just get this mixed up right now, just so it'll be done. Now, you can just use this if you want, but I like mine to be a little bit better. So, I just take this packet. Okay, now I don't have any orange juice on hand, but I do have oranges that I bought too many of. That's a whole another story in itself. So I'm going to squeeze the juice from my oranges here. Wow, that is a juicy orange. Looks like I probably only need a half, but I'll go ahead and do this other half. Okay, then I got my honey. And my mustard. And my cloves. All right, now I got my honey, my spiced honey ham sauce all ready, so that when it needs to go on my ham, it is all ready to go. Now, you don't have to do this. We just like this recipe a lot. Oh my goodness, that is so darn tootin' good. It's not even funny. Okay, so that's ready to go. This recipe for dinner rolls is in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1, on page 93. You can take a picture here, take a picture of the QR code, or follow the link in the description below. I've got my yeast. Whoops, too much yeast. And my shortening. Shortening is what makes these nice and fluffy. And it moisturizes your hand while you're at it. And my sugar. And my salt. All my measuring cups are full. So I'm using this one. I know I just sent a lot of people over the edge with that. It's okay. It's really okay. Okay, so I'm going to stir this all together and let my yeast start doing its thing. Oops, I didn't follow the directions in the book. Oh well, it ain't gonna hurt anything. Let me see if this water is hot enough to get my yeast going. Oh, maybe, I don't know. So my yeast was cold out of the refrigerator, so that may stop it from cooking. Shoot. Okay, we're gonna let it sit for just a minute and see. Okay, so my water was not hot enough, and see, it's only 87. So what I'm gonna do is add just a titch of boiling water to bring it up to temperature here. Ah, there we go. Now we're getting better, closer to 100. Then I'll just add an extra half a cup or cup of flour. Now that should activate my, maybe not. Yeah. Okay, now hopefully that'll activate my yeast. Right, volume 1 of my Dining on a Dime cookbook, Italian cream cake. Now, I am adapting this recipe to use a box cake mix, okay? So I'm gonna change up a few things, like I'm going to use sour milk with a little bit of vinegar instead of buttermilk, and I'm gonna use some half butter and half shortening for the oil. So just so you guys know, I'm making it an Italian cream cake. I'm making an Italian cream cake, but I'm just using a cake mix for all of the dry ingredients, okay? So if you want to make it from scratch, you can. Go to page 295, take a picture here, take a picture of the QR code, or follow the link in the description below. Okay, I have a white cake mix. Now instead of water, I'm using milk or buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, I don't have any on hand. I add a little bit of vinegar to my milk, and that sours it. You want 4 egg whites to keep it nice and pretty. You can save the egg yolks for scrambled eggs if you want. Okay, I'm using half butter and half shortening for my oil. Okay, I've got it started. I'm just going to let that finish melting. Okay. Okay, then the next ingredient is pecans. Now these are chopped, but they're not really chopped enough, I don't think. So, okay, I like to chop them up a little bit better. Then we're going to put in our pecans. The coconut. All right, got my 2 pans here. And I'm going to liberally spray them. And I think for this, just because I really want them to come out of the pan, I'm gonna go ahead and line them with parchment. Okay, there's one. There's the other. Take my batter. I'm going to pour half of it in the pan. Half of it in the other pan. Oh, this smells so good. I absolutely love this cake. I love anything with coconut and pecans. My goodness, you cannot go wrong with coconut and pecans. Okay, we're gonna get that spread out. And then we're going to put this in the oven and bake it according to the package directions. And we will be right back. Okay, got my yeast going there. So I am adding in flour. Then I'm gonna mix this together. Okay, now you might say, Tara, why did you need that? Or why did you mix that so long? Because if you mix it with the mixer, it takes like half the kneading time off. It helps get the gluten going quicker, and you don't have to knead so much. Oops. Okay, I forgot. I forgot to tell you guys. Oh no, do I want to make a full batch or a half a batch? I'll make a full batch, and then I'll give my boys extras. And actually, just to make it extra yummy, I'm going to add milk instead of water for one of the cups, just because I need to use up my milk. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get that all mixed up. I'm gonna make my boys a loaf of bread. They love my homemade bread, so I'm gonna do half rolls and half bread. Okay, now I'm putting on my gloves because I don't have to dig out the dough from my fingernails. Now, for dinner rolls for Easter or Thanksgiving or whatever, make these the day before. This is not something that you want to make the day of, okay? So just make them the day before, then you can just put them in the oven or microwave for a couple of seconds if you want to warm them up, okay? Oh, that looks lovely. Now I'm going to start kneading. Just getting the flour worked in first. Then kneading is just pulling it over and pushing it down. You just keep doing that until your dough isn't sticky anymore. Okay, now I'm just getting all that flour mixed in until it's smooth. I'm taking my bowl, I'm going to spritz it with oil. Okay, putting my dough in the bowl, spritzing it with oil. I'm going to let this rise. Now I have food in my oven, otherwise I would turn my oven on 100 degrees, then turn it off and then put this in the oven to let it rise. But since I got food in there, I'm just gonna set it on top of the oven. This recipe for strawberry tea is in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1. On page 39, it is based off of my double berry tea. I am just using regular tea bags instead of blackberry. If you want to have the extra berry flavor, you can use blackberry tea bags also. And the first thing I'm going to do is I have leftover strawberry jam here. If you don't have leftover, you can just use regular. And I'm going to pour water in here and let that all dissolve. It's just the hot water, okay? Then I'm going to pour my hot water in and drop in my tea bags there. All right, gonna let that sit for a few minutes. See if my strawberry jam is starting to soften up. Ooh, it is. Oops, I filled it a little too high. Oh well, I'll just be careful. Okay, so I'm just stirring all that luscious strawberry jam and getting it dissolved. Now I'm adding my sugar and my lemon juice. I like these little packets just because I don't have to keep lemons on hand, but you can use regular lemon juice if you want to get that dissolved. Oh, yum. Then I'm going to take and pour in my leftover jam. Perfect. See, don't waste that extra, okay? All right, gonna let that sit for the tea bags to steep, and then we'll fill it up with cold water. All right, I am making Ambrosia Salad. Everybody loves this Ambrosia Salad. Okay, so I got my pineapple that I'm going to drain and keep the pineapple juice because it's yummy. I'm going to pour it in my favorite mug there. A viewer sent that to me one time. Refreshing. Okay, so I got my pineapple juice, or my pineapple, then my mandarin oranges. Now, lovely Walmart there. Walmart, you need to get it together. Ooh, I don't like the way that popped. Okay, they look fine, but I don't like the way that popped. Man, have you guys been noticing? Yeah, see how it didn't have the psst? So usually when it goes psst, that means it's got bacteria in it, so you don't want to eat it. Have you guys been noticing that? Oops, wrong thing. Just put it in with my pineapple juice. Have you guys been noticing how Walmart's canned goods are just really getting all beat up? Walmart needs to get it together. And then my cherries. Ah, no, they got me the ones with the stems. Oh, it's okay. I can adapt and pull off every cherry. Okay, I'm leaving a few to decorate the top. Actually, I'm gonna pull out a few pineapple and oranges to decorate the top too. Okay, and I'm gonna go drain. This is too much juice, so I'm gonna go drain a little bit of that juice. Oh my goodness, I could just eat it just like that. Okay, so now we have some chopped pecans and our coconut and our sour cream and powdered sugar and marshmallows. And I'm gonna stir all this up. Man, I need a bigger bowl. Now you wanna make this ahead of time so that the sour cream can take on all the flavors of the fruit. And then either whipped cream or Cool Whip, whichever you want. Because you know, Cool Whip makes the world a much better place. Oh, yum. Oh, this is so delicious. Oh, I love this stuff. An absolutely fresh washcloth, wash rag, whatever you call it, where you're at. Now I'm gonna decorate the top. Oh my goodness, that looks darn tootin' delicious. There is my Ambrosia Salad. Oh, yum. All right, tea has been sitting. Take out all my tea bags. All right, then for our vegetable, I am making a salad. And I just washed my scissors. I do not like the way salad is so chunky. In about another 2 months, I'm gonna be having my own salad or lettuce in the garden. And then I'm going to cut up a bit of pepper. And broccoli. And I don't have any tomatoes. And I forgot the cucumbers. And if you want your salad to taste really good, take some seasoned salt and sprinkle it with seasoned salt. Yum. Okay, now for my frosting. I am making a double batch of frosting because I'm making 2 cakes using the same frosting. So, carrot cake and Italian cream cake both use same frosting. So I've got my butter and my cream cheese. Okay, there we go. All right, got my cream cheese and my vanilla, or I mean my butter. Now I'm adding my vanilla. I got this vanilla paste from a viewer. Thank you. Loving it. Okay, so I'm gonna mix all these three together and then we're gonna add our powdered sugar. And my powdered sugar. Oh, that is so delicious. And double, as my son used to say. Okay, so now we're gonna add our coconut and our pecans. And then I'm getting my big old spoon since it's a double batch. I think Italian cream cake is probably my favorite cake. And I think carrot cake is probably my favorite cake. Yep. That is darn tootin' delicious. All right, I stuck a knife in the center to make sure that my cake was done. Now I'm going to put the first layer. Right, and my second layer. Okay, now I know most people will do around the sides, and you can if you want. I just find in my old age, it's tedious and I don't like doing it. And I'm old, so I can do whatever I want now. So I am going to leave it like that. Then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of coconut on top. And a few pecans. Oh my goodness. And there's our Italian cream cake. Yum. Oh, this is so delicious. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to break into this one. Right, I'm going to show you how to make deviled eggs. Now, these were in my egg cooker, and then I put them in cold water. Now, old eggs peel easier than new eggs. So if you're going to do this for Easter, get your eggs like 2 weeks before Easter. Anybody remember when eggs were 39 cents at Easter? That was so nice. And here is the modern way to make deviled eggs, okay? So cut your eggs. Make them all pretty. So then what you do is you take the yolk and you put each yolk carefully, hopefully not breaking the shell, in a baggie. Then I'm taking my seasoned salt. And my mayo and my mayonnaise, or my mustard. And my secret ingredient, bacon grease. Oh, bet you weren't expecting that one, were ya? Nope, because Tara makes the best deviled eggs in the entire world. Oops, I forgot those two. Okay, and then we are going to smush it all together. Oops. Make sure you got it sealed. Feel all the chunks and just get everything all nice and smooth. Okay. Then I'm going to cut off your corner, and we're going to put a dollop in each egg. There are my deviled eggs. Oh my goodness, yum. Oh, this is probably one of my favorite foods. Okay, I just took my ham out of the oven. It's been in there, about 3 hours, give or take. Now I did remove some of the juice. I poured some of the juice over top just to baste it. Keep it nice and moist, okay? And then I've got some of my brown sugar honey mixture here. Now I'm going to put it back in the oven and let it bake, and then I'm going to put the next coat of honey mixture on top. I'm making scalloped potatoes, so I peeled all my potatoes so I can just grab it up like that. I am greasing I've never done this before. Is this gonna work? Nope, it's too thin. Okay, so I am just going to cut up my potatoes. Layer them on the bottom. And I'm putting on my cutting glove because I'm tired, so I probably will cut my finger. So I have my first layer there, and I have my butter here. And I'm going to dot with butter. I got my onion. So if you guys store your onions in the refrigerator, you will never cry. See, look, I'm not crying. See, I'm happy. I'm not crying. Okay, so see, no crying is happening. Slice my onions. Okay, and then I'm putting my onions over the top. Okay. And my next layer of potatoes. Okay, so my next layer of potatoes. And my next layer of onions. And I am not using any meat in here. I'm not using any ham or bacon. So I'm taking a little bit of bacon grease. So I'm doing half bacon grease and half butter. And I'm spreading it all over. Give it that delicious flavor. You can grease your pan with bacon grease instead if you want. That's really delicious also. And my next layer of potatoes. Okay, so now in this bowl I am taking my milk. I say do it in a jar in the book, but you don't have to. And since I am making this one gluten-free, I am using cornstarch instead of flour, which is perfectly fine. And my pepper and my salt. And then you can add onion powder if you're not using onions, but since I used onions, I am just mixing this up until the cornstarch is all mixed. All right, so I got my potatoes here. Yeah. There's not quite enough milk, so I'm just gonna add just a titch more milk over the top. Oh, yum. There we go. Now we are going to put this in the oven and let it bake. The recipe for our scalloped potatoes, it's in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1. On page 164, you can take a picture of the recipe here, take a picture of the QR code, or follow the link in the description below to my website at livingonadime.com. I'm gonna roll our dinner rolls now. Here's a little trick. My mom heard this from, I don't know who she learned it from. Maybe one of her old cookbooks. Grease your pan with bacon grease to give your rolls and your breads a really good taste, okay? So, I'm going to take and push down my dough. I'm going to go ahead, I got just a little bit too much flour in here, but that's all right. Okay, now I'm gonna make it into a log. Now my round pan is being used for cake. Probably 9 rolls in this pan. I'm going to squish the top over like so, and you're just gonna keep pushing it under until you start getting to a nice smooth top. Now, some people go like this on the counter. You can if you want. I don't. I just pinch the bottom, get it all tucked in, just like so. Okay, there we go. Okay, I use a thermometer when my bread or my buns are 200 degrees. I know they are finished. My bread is not quite done yet, I don't think. I'm going to take and put the thermometer into my bread so I can know if my bread is done. Oh, look at those bisque buns. Oh, yum. Okay, my bread is done. Well, is my bread done? Yes. No, it's going down. 199. Okay, so my bread is done also, so I'm gonna get that out. My boys love bread, so that's why I did 2/3 of the dough for bread and 2/3 for biscuit or dinner rolls. And then I'm putting a little bit of butter on top. Oh my goodness, yum. Okay, we're gonna let that cool, and then we will eat some. Oh my goodness, scalloped potatoes. Yum. Of course, my oven cooks hotter on the back than it does the front. That's okay. Oh my goodness, there is my ham. My honey baked ham. I did not put the second layer of brown sugar and honey on. I just decided to do the one. Oh, I can't wait to eat that. Ooh, it looks so delicious. Oh my goodness, that just looks so delicious.